In this video, we will show you how to input age and sex records for species while submitting a WeBS count. Before we start, please only input this data if you are confident in determining the age and sex of the species you see during your WeBS count. If you are unsure how to assess certain species' age and sex, please see further guidance on the BTO website. First of all, log into WeBS Online and enter the site and count details. Then scroll down to Section 2, Species Seen, and enter a count for a species. You will see that there is a percentage symbol next to certain species which you can press to enter the age and sex recordings. There are only a selected number of species for which it is possible to easily distinguish the age and sex of birds, so for only these species is the option for entering this data available. Please also note that only after you have marked a species as present or added a count can you then select this option. Once you have selected this option, you can add records for each flock seen. Please submit age and sex records per flock that is present within your site. For example, if there are 2 flocks of tufted duck, then add the data for the first flock and then select Add Flock to add age and sex data for the second flock. For flock 1, to change the size of the flock if there is more than one, do so here. If you are going to enter age or sex data for all the individuals on your WeBS count, there is no need to separate the data into separate flocks. But if you are only going to add data for a sample of birds, please ensure you give the approximate flock size the sample relates to. Select Add Sample to add the age and sex data. If the species can be separated by both sex and age, you are given a choice of the type of sample. For sample type, we are first going to select age. Please type in how many individuals within the flock were adults, first calendar year, and any individuals where this was not clear as indeterminate. To then add sex data for flock 1, press Add Sample and then select Sex. And type in how many individuals of the sample were male, female, and indeterminate. You can enter data for further samples from flock 1 by pressing Add Sample, and can add as many samples as you need to. The numbers you type in for all the samples cannot be greater than the overall size of this flock, shown here. If they are greater than this, a warning will appear when you try to enter the data and it cannot be submitted. Once you have inputted data for flock 1, you can optionally enter data for flock 2, flock 3, and so on by selecting Add Flock. The numbers you type in for all the flock sizes cannot be greater than the overall size of your WeBS count, shown here. If they are greater than this, a warning will appear when you try to enter the data and it cannot be submitted. Select OK and then Submit Count. For more guidance on how to assess species age and sex, please go to the Wetland Bird Survey Counter Resources page on the BTO website.